Habit. Let's see. Let's get you on there. Okay. My mic was off, apparently. Oh, I didn't update. That's right. I didn't update to the whole stream box, so that probably broke some things. But if anything else goes wrong, let me know. Let me know in the first 5 minutes or so if there's any technically wrong, and I can fix them before I get too far into this. But welcome, guys. Hello. Here we are, clicking buttons to get things going here and over here. Okay, looks good. I'm happy. Happy you guys are here. Welcome. Did I spell welcome right? I hope so. There we go. Alrighty. I think we're good. We're loaded. We should be going to here. Get everything loaded up in here. Whoop, whoop. There we go. Welcome, guys. Yeah, I should wave hello, everyone. Hello. As we get everything kind of syncing back up. As we get way too many filters and stuff on here. Welcome, guys. It should be fun. Alright, so let's see. First thing I got is I got new glasses. Hope you guys like them. They were pretty quick to put those on. We'll see if I'll be able to take them off later, but at least for now, I'll be having these on. So, welcome, guys. I was gonna put like a texture on them. I was gonna put like a bunch of like dots or something on it. Then I realized that my trypophobia, or fear of small holes, I guess also relates to small dots. So having a bunch of smallly contained bunch of different little dots together just made me very upset and very not comfortable. So I got rid of that, and I think it looks pretty good regardless. So let's see. How are you guys doing? Let's see. So we got the mods. Cookie and Star. Hello. Cool guy Sasha. See cartoons. Coming to Dragon. Hello. How you guys doing? Let's see. Who knows? Yeah, I did hear about the Gorilla Glue. I didn't know much further than the surface level. Surface level more than just what's on Reddit, I suppose. So, let's see. I spoke myself. By me, yeah, I guess I did. I was just like trying to put a bunch of little circles on it, and it's like it kind of looked like a fly. It's kind of like eyeball, where it has all little small, many millions of little eyes on it. So that freaked me out. So I was like, let's not do that. I don't know. I think this looks pretty good. It looks kind of 60s kind of style with this kind of glasses. So let's see here. This project's a mess, but we're working on it. Dippy still has a lot of stuff. So I was working with Dippy. This whole scene, I made this to look a little better, hopefully. Better than our sketch that we had last time. Especially the background, you guys helped me with that. Point of Life has the style that I'm just going with. Is my interpretation of the style. Let's just say that. So whether or not this is 100% accurate to how Point of Life would draw it or make it, I'm just going to make my own style based on Point of Life. So if anything's wrong with this or something that wouldn't be Point of Life style and accurate, 100% accurate, then that's on me, but I'm doing my best. So that's what made a lot of difference. If you go like, why is this bug and radio and all this stuff doesn't have fills? Why is there no color to any of these designs? That's because if you look at the backgrounds for them, for the show, it seems like that's the norm. Half the items in the backgrounds, you know, wave like a far background, instead of making this filled and like design and shading and design work. It's like, just a bunch of squares, I guess, and then kind of impressionist or like very make do, I guess. Not to make this too elaborate, I suppose, but to make it a certain style, like what I'm gonna go with for the Gerald McBoing Boing is the one that I'm thinking of. Or I think a lot of influence from that kind of era, 50s and 60s cartoons, kind of had this style. Where it had, like, with the Dippy Bird himself, he's got, like, his outline that's kind of, like, a little bit off kilter and, like, different, moved over from the fill color. So, everything's a little bit off here. Let's see, though. Let's go back to the beginning. So I got him to animate a little bit there. In the water has a little bit of an animation. That was real quick today, so might not be 100% perfect, but gets the job done for that. Boop, boop. There you go. Let's see. Oh boy. Never customized the Windows XP interface back in the day. Oh, did I customize it? It is based, the loading, it's based on the file loading thing when you, like, copy a file onto a different folder or something. So it's based on data animation. 98, I think that sounds about right, I would say. Where it's got that, like, flat but, like, futuristic, but not, like, 2000s futuristic. It's kind of, like, in between, so I think that's about right with 98. Where it's kind of, yeah. So it's based on the loading, or, like, the file copying, which I'm using as a loading screen, so you can see how long it takes to get get this stream going. So here we are. There you go. All right. Didn't have gradients. I'm not honestly too familiar with the exact of everything with Windows. The only one that I had was I had, like, a Mac in, like, the 90s. I had, like, I told you about that computer that's like a cube. I think it was, like, violet or purple. And then I got, like, a Windows. I think I was probably using laptops a lot more in the 2000s, and then, like, 2010s I got, like, a desktop computer. Now I'm just sitting here with this full-blown computer and Cintiqs and 3 monitors, and I got his battle station now. Let's see. I added gradients to make it more interesting. I don't know if it's the original reference that I was looking at, it didn't have, like, true gradients. It was more like a pixely style rather than a clean, aesthetically nice. Yeah, mine did. Do you want me to go back? You guys are having trouble. I'm gonna go back to the loading screen so you can kind of look at it. So it has, my version has the gradients, but yeah, it's based on the older style because it has the loading bar itself, like where the blue parts are. That's definitely older style. So I made it my own style, but everything's in the referencing the style of it. So there you go. Welcome back. Everything's got to load back up. There you go. Hi, Two-Tailed Derpy. Hello. Okay. Eddie, can I create it? Yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't have a computer to be able to get it perfectly exact. Let's see. Yeah, the whole aesthetic of, like, well, it kind of spun off from the After Dark Toaster Time background. Was like I wanted it to be flying toasters, and then that kind of spun off onto let's have the other screens be computer related as well. So it all kind of got nostalgic old computer style. So the loading screen was an afterthought then to everything else. Because, like, the Hang On and We'll Be Back and those kind of screens that I have, which I don't quite use too often, but will hopefully not crash this time, was I think what I hang in there is just like the 70s cat poster, and I think the other one that I had was based on the Simpsons screenshot, which I actually did watch recently, so that was fun to, like, look at and go, oh look, there it is. I had the them even that guy pointing picture. Hello, Benson. Let's get on here. So let's see. I guess I can show you the whole thing, what we got so far, and then you can see what we got to do. So I got the first six seconds done. Got up to here, and then they stopped. So animated this a little bit, and then this is where stuff goes down with the suplex the train happens in this shot. So we're about halfway done, I would say. So even though we did it about, you know, 2 months or so, we're coming up on 2 months on this, I think. But we're about halfway done with the animation, so that's not too bad, at least for the amount of assets. Like basically everything that I've made here, besides the actual pony puppet itself, was pre-made, I suppose. Like I had to make the backgrounds and all the assets and pretty much every prop in this new character. These both new characters, especially the Derpy bird in this whole scene is new. Like I didn't really have this as a pre-made library that I could just, you know, take from this library here, whatever. With all this stuff from my Midnight Mayor's pictures and fun stuff from this that I could just copy and paste in there. So a lot of this is new assets and new ideas, so it's taking me a little while. I think just the duster animation of him walking out just took so long, so hopefully this shot is basically just getting them posed, and then we'll we got everything pretty much set up. I think that I can just get things going. So if I just go in here, I think there's a way to mark frame. Let's see, mark current frame. So that's the frame that it starts. So I could just look at that and go, okay. Let's see. Welcome. That's what was MS Bob. Ooh, okay. Nice. Hello, Marcus. So what I'm gonna do is that I have the frames that I did last time, where I have these pictures of his arm waving back and forth. They're rotated here, but they're also fixed, obviously, in this part. So you can see how I animated this with these different pictures. They're all different pictures in here too. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of just copy all these, hold my copy button, and duplicate these drawings right over there. And then we just see in this new shot that now you should be animating. So yay. Alright, so that's good. You can see just how long this shot is, so about to here. Let's make a new marker here. So I kind of just get rid of some of these frames after it. So we can clear that button. So now I'll just be up to making everything work with these parameters here that we got. Alrighty. So how we doing? Hello. Simple. Gonna go over that. How you doing? I like these little particles. I like the particles with the all these. Because I animated all of this like this. So basically just copy paste it. This is why I wanted to make this look good and like perfect. Because then I can just go to the second part now and just hopefully I can get this to like kind of work. Might take a bit to get this to be in the right position, but hopefully this will be worth it. I feel like this is off by 1 frame, so let's go back 1 and see what happens. There we go. And then just kind of see what or not what's gonna happen here. This isn't too long, so I can just kind of whatever with this pretty quick. So how we guys doing? I've been doing pretty good. I know at the start we talked about Patreon, and now then current news. Let's see. See, with the Patreon stuff, I'm not neglecting it. I'm still like in the thought process of it, I suppose. I'm still trying to figure out like what exactly I want to do for that. Whether or not I want to have 2 or 3 tiers. And I said to start at the beginning that it doesn't exactly matter, to the sense that people can choose whatever tier that they want. When they sign up for it, then they can choose exactly what amount they want to do per month. So that makes that easy. I don't have to worry about that. The only caveat, I guess, is that people who are overly generous would be like, okay, I'll do like $7.98 and then the tiers only for 1 and 5 and go, okay, I can still do 7 and then they get everything. So it's not like it limits them in a sense. So that's what I was trying to say with that. Let's see. We can go ahead and have them like animate them. What do we want to do? You could have them like blink, maybe like halfway. I also think because of both of them have to do something. Let's see. Oh, howdy, Joe. Welcome. Good to see you. I saw your Joe. You had a nice comment on my Happy Sports picture I made. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I'll go back to my storyboard and see exactly what I got. Because I think I only have it be... Yeah, I have it only as Harshwinny. Let's see. Storyboard Harshwinny. Where she just kind of just blinks. So, you know, I can get her... She'll be the focus of it, so I probably want to have her first. Or animate her first and then decide. So I can just kind of go on here. And then... Or I can have it be halfway. Like back to here. Which means I might need to have either this one be a little bit longer. That feels stronger, I guess. Maybe this one. Okay. Thank you for the glasses. I did watch the Super Bowl. I don't know if that's too political or not to talk about. I don't know if I was really like watching it per se, so I don't really have an opinion on anything like that. Okay, so I gotta blink in, so I can do play with the eyes. This one, I think it's like all these now. This is again like my favorite features that I can finally see what I'm doing. Oh boy. Because again with Flash, that's what I usually compare everything to. With animation is that with Flash, you can't exactly just click on things and see what their timelines are doing. Ugh. It's just so annoying. I guess what I'm gonna do is click, click, click. Nope. It's hard to know if it's a controller or a shift to see what happens. Okay. So what happens is I want her to like blink and then have her eyes be like unamused or something. So just have some kind of movement. So we can do something like this, maybe? And then we could probably like put your eyebrows down. That'll help. We'll need to like move this one. Other eyeball. This one. Over a little bit. And then just kind of shift up. Go. That feels animated already. Alright, so hello. Let's see. There's reach. Watch Beastmasters. Oh, I read that as Beastmasters, but then I thought that was like the anime with the wolf and the rabbit, and now I'm even more confused. Now I don't even know what you're talking about. The American store sports political too. I hope not. That's why I was like trying to preface it. That's like maybe, but I don't know. Do I have a I thought I had... Ah, I don't. I thought I had a bendy. Like the hair is a bendy. I think you use these little warbles to do that, but I don't think I did it for the eyebrows. Interesting. Okay then. Oh, the Midnight Mares have that. But these apparently don't. Interesting. Let's see. Get some water. It's hockey. I think I don't really watch hockey too much to know what's special about it. So sorry about that. Let's see. I want other eyebrow. These ones. So I want both of these, and I want both of these. Is it controlling? There you go. Okay. So I can have drawing, peg of both eyebrows. Okay. Sorry, I'm slow on you guys. Let's see. Hello, Raspberry. Let's see. Naturalistic. Interesting. Instead of watch an Argodamian stream of virtual board game of Fallout. Interesting. I haven't heard of that. Let's see. So I kind of pop these down a little bit. See right about where I want them. Kind of move them over a little bit, like so. Probably need to change this picture to be not have. Oh, that's actually the one I have. I want this one to be that one. There you go. So I have alternates to see whether or not the eyebrow has like a background picture, I suppose. I guess more clearly will be whether or not it has like a background picture layer to show. It's hard to explain. Sorry. But you kind of saw how it had this extra shape that can like it's masked inside as well, so it won't show, but only when it's inside of the eyelid itself, that's when it actually shows up. So I was trying to not show that. Needing to get rid of it though. There you go. Let's see. Let's see. Oh wow. Okay. Yeah, I didn't know. All right. All I know is that I know my team, my Washington Seahawks guys weren't playing, so it was hard to, I guess, take anything seriously, you know. Not that I'm trying to be any special with it in here. It's just hard to. I see why people get very into their nationality, where they're from. It's like, yeah, that does kind of help whether or not you care or not. Boop. Boop. I feel like this is a little bit much. Just kind of bring that down. I know it's hard with the storyboard, but I can visually see it, so sorry. Let's see. Okay, so boop. So we got all that. Now let's go back out to larger. Not that I have to do it this way, but it just kind of helps to like know exactly what I would like. Where I worked on like the eyeball and then the blink, the eyeballs, the eyebrows, pretty much all the face stuff, and then I'm moving the actual head around. Because I feel like if I just move the head around, it's kind of, then that'll lead and influence what I do for the animation. So I feel like this method will work a little better. Let's see. Make my storyboard there. Hello, Rock Stall. Love you guys' names. I feel like as we keep iterating or like making new usernames, all the good ones are gone, so they keep surprising me. Let's see. With all you guys. Okay. So what I can do, let's see what I want to do. So I think I'll have her like move her head a little bit down. Like that. That feels weird, but I think if I add the rest of the body, which is this one, let's see what I can do. So I can have the body kind of wrapped to now what Horse Winnie is doing. So I see like her head moves a little bit to the left, so I can kind of shimmy this slightly. Ever so slightly, didn't even catch it. Yeah. Kind of jimmy down, jimmy left and down, up, up. Now I feel like it's one body that's like connected. Ever so slightly. Ending part is bad. Unless I go back to the head and just kind of move that down. There. There we go. So now I got the whole body moving, and we didn't have to do much for that. Good night, Sasha. Let me go back to the storyboard, get rid of that, and let's preview just Harsh Winnie to see how that looks. For what it is and how short it is, I think that's probably going to be passable. And in a sense, I don't think I need to do much more than that. I could add secondary motion, but I think for the hair and stuff, but I'll do that for later. Let's get back to Duster and animate that. Let me get some water. How you guys doing? We're at the halfway point. Now we're talking about who knows what. Let's see. Sports release 4. What happened? I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, I thought it wouldn't be political. How do you change your username? I know it's definitely different between sites. Kind of like how you change your password. There's probably a way to change your username. Kind of something like that. Let's see. What I want to do for Duster. I don't think I had the... I know the storyboard didn't have anything for Duster, so... what would work? It kind of works that he's kind of looking at it, but maybe he could be more aloof by having his eyes be like somewhere else. I'd go over here. I'm looking at something else too. Problem is that if I have it like over here, imagine I'm just looking good. Then like Harsh would also be kind of looking over there, so then like our focus would be in two different places. So that's what I'm afraid of with that. Or you could just be hanging out. Or you could just be looking straight at us. What do we think? Where should his eyes focus on, I suppose? Does that help a little bit? Let's see. I like ponies too. Let's see. Alright. Yeah, thankfully Yoshi Greenwater isn't used anywhere. It is like the combination of when you search on YouTube, you do eventually get like videos of like green water Yoshi as like separate words, as like different key tags, I suppose. So there's that. That's basically what this is. So I haven't had that much of a problem when making like new accounts for things. I've been pretty good. Trying to think, maybe we can have them. Because the whole point is that she has a blank. Try to think of what our duster also needs a blank. Or it has. It feels weird. I guess that's what you were guys saying of like whether he can use a different method, but I feel like I wanted to just make it simple on myself and just be done with this and be just okay with not having him do anything. Not having a different thing for him to do. Because we had like the vacuum idea and stuff, so I didn't want to make a vacuum. That's basically it, so I can not have as many assets made for this. Slow and lazy blink. Okay. I think I can kind of work. Is that coming out? Just needs to figure this out. So that's there. I have a lot of extras that don't need to be here. May need to make a separate one from the blink between. Yeah, even this is basically what the frames that I have, so I can just make this on 3s and see what happens. And then for it, and then I have to make a new picture between here and here. So I have to go back to this one and then duplicate it and then move this one down halfway. Let's see where this is. And then oh, that doesn't work. Why is this backwards? I need to put this here, move this here. Where's my fancy one? My fancy one is 5 now. So that's this one. So I need to move this one to like match up with all this craziness here. Yeah, hang on. I need to get this going. Okay. Problem is that this is very not right. It almost works. So I need to have it where, because everything's on a separate layer, so it's like I'm freaking out of like where everything is basically. So this needs to be here actually, and then set the underlay, which I don't know what this line is. So if I could just delete it, get this one and just kind of pop this up and then align it. That's closer. Feels animated. It's always a good sign when animating to say that that looks animated pretty good. I'm gonna have this be a little bit longer. There we go. How does that look for you guys? Let's see. And with the rest of it, how does that look? Let's have it be a bit later. Sooner. Sooner. Okay. So now the rest of it is just trying to match it up with this one. So we needed a new picture for this one. Let's make new picture. This is this one. This is, I think, I don't know. Which one's this? This is E. And then back to 5. And then back to like a 2, I guess. So we need to change this one into the new picture. Let's see, what do we got? We got this, and this. This should just be kind of making this halfway. Right around there. Going to this one. And then matching it up. The problem is that sometimes it breaks at other points. Let's see. And now because I reused it, it should, yep. So now if we watch this, haha, okay. Okay, that was fun. I mean, I could make it longer, but I think that's fine. I feel like this and this, that's off. This drawing here and this drawing here are not the same. There we go. Okay. Hello, Fandom MX, I suppose. Not sure how to read that. Thank you. Let's see. I'm going to go to head, get the eyeball, master eyeball, and so now I can kind of animate this. A little bit. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Then we'll do the same thing. Whenever we got all that done, so I can go to the head and everything is. I'm not sure if he's like sleepy or like just out of it. Let me just kind of go. Something like that. I mean, he likes what he's doing, but I feel like he's just gonna be slow at it. He's just a chill guy. I like this guy. So go back. Now I can see the bottom layer with all these keyframes is the head. I have the body layer. So what I can do is do the same thing. He's just chill. He's just chillaxing, just like me. Right? I'm cool. That's what all the cool kids say, is saying to themselves that, yeah, I'm a cool guy. So, bop, 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 bop. I feel like one of these, I feel like I need to move the body up and move the head up, just so this can be a bit like that. A bit smoother. Okay, so what we got now is that both of them should now kind of go, there we go. Probably should have this start and end there, so now I could just play this over and over. There you go. Whew. So he going. Harshwini's like, I guess whatever. And then this is a little upsetting. And Duster's still, he's just going. He's just vibing out. I think that's pretty good, at least for what I want. I could play with a mouse. I think I want to have like Harshwini's mouth move. I think I have her like mouth move at a different part, like way back here. So we can do the same thing. We can animate the mouth a little bit too. Look at him go. First, what I want him to do. This mouth to kind of right around maybe like the midpoint. Kind of go. That just adds a little bit. Almost like slightly dimensional as well. It's like, Ah, that really helps. Let's see. Yeah, I had a story like in high school, like I didn't feel too self-confident in myself. And it's like all those kids of like, these guys are so much more popular and way cooler, and it's like I thought those guys were really cool. It's like they have them say like, oh yeah, you're cool too, and it's like, oh really? So that felt nice. I feel like I gotta channel that somehow. Let's see. So that kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. So they both kind of moved their mouth a little bit too. What might be a little bit much, but I could see if this works, is that I could have like whole eyeball. I don't have that really set up well, because I would like to move. Looks like the eyebrow is clipping. Let's fix that. Right here. Let's see this. This is not right. I need to fix this. This and this. Gimme. This one needs to be fixed. Is that this needs to have maybe more over here. Kind of like lining up maybe around here. Definitely not there. So that should be more. Oops. Let's see. Let's put you back where that is. Actually a little bit higher. Let's get the other one and then kind of let it back up. There you go. Nice. How does that look for you guys? The rest of it now would just be, if this looks good, then I can do the secondary animation where I can have like the hair bop a little bit. Let me get that going and set up. There you go. Irish head. Let me see this one, so I can just see where bop 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 are the same. So that's good. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is very small movements. It's making large movements isn't fun for hair movement, because obviously they don't, you know, whoop, not the whole head, but they don't really move like, whoa, if a character like moves their head up and down. It doesn't really go in extreme. It might just go like that much, but even that much will add some perspective and I don't know what I think of. Volume, I guess. Depth is a good word. Let's kind of see where it was and then add a little bit. So I need to just some flicking back and forth, which is a very animation move to do. And the old, if head goes up, then hair go down. Head go down. Head goes up. What? Even this amount of motion might be a bit much. And then settle it down so this adds a little bit more. See everything. So it's so slight, but I feel like it just adds way more than you think. Let's get the ponytail, whatever you else want to call this part. With this, let's see. How you guys doing? Man, I lost you guys after I said like let's not talk about that, and then we have nothing else to talk about. So it's fault of that. I'm trying my best here. Alrighty. That's a slight bounce. I feel like that's fun. Let's add a bounce to Duster. He's got the same kind of hair setup. As you can see, I don't have to make new drawings for like every single thing that I want to do with this. For the motion of it, I don't have to like make a new drawing to be like slightly different poses that I can use this kind of wiggly motion here to do that. So let's get this. So I got this motion. It should be pretty large motion, I think. So let's see what happens. Follow this. A little bit higher. It's not like it's super stretching, but it's just trying to be somewhat similar position, and it's just like the head is moving. That's the only like real difference that's happening. So I'm trying not to like overly stretch it, but just trying to see if it's in relatively same space. That's what I'm going for. So right around there. I feel like with these ones that they go too far back in. So I know like my original point that I had was there, so I can kind of just be close to it. If I need the hat to kind of fill in the gaps for some of this. Nope, not everything. This one. I can do that too. Because the hair doesn't move right. So there's a lot of like very, very small movements, but I think they all kind of help each other out to sell this as like one big motion in one character. Having a bunch of physics on it. So just a little bit of that. Oops, a little bit. Okay. Next will be this and this. Do the same thing. I know those people who are like, oh, I can't do this. This is animation, you know. I can't do animation. I'm so like, I can't possibly, you know, do the same thing or whatever, or do this sort of thing for this long. I always wonder about those people, like what actually like goes in their brain, or is like I can't focus on this for so long, or how can you possibly be still doing this? And it's like I've only been done it on this stream for like 40 minutes so far. And it's like how are you still on? Especially the last time, like that person was like, oh yeah, I was in the bathroom and then I came back. It's like, you're still on? Like how is that possible? I was wondering about that. There's people in the audience right now is like the same kind of opinion. It's like what is that? I don't, to me it's like, yeah, I can sit here for like 5 or 6 hours and maybe and just like work on this and plug at this, you know. I got the, you know, creativity of like, yeah, I can, my brain wants to like make these, and it gets the adrenaline rush of like making things. So it's like to me is like, yeah, it's like making a craft or something, or artwork or whatever it is. I mean, this is animation, but it feels like really fun to like add a bunch of little details and like make things. So obviously, because these characters were like this, you know, like a half hour ago, but now look at them go, you know. Like I made all this happen, and so it's like I get the adrenaline rush of like making all this. So I'm wondering about you guys. Not to like really put you on the spot or anything, but it's just like, what makes you feel like you can't do this? I'm just wondering about that. Or like you can't sit down and work on this or plug at this for who knows how long. They don't have the attention span or something? I'm just not sure, you know. Like work on this for, I guess, more than like 5 minutes. Like after 5 minutes you're like, okay, I'm good, I'm done. That's all I want to do today or something. I don't know. Exactly. Yeah. I don't like, you know, obviously I don't like draw like every minute of my day, but I feel like I gotta get myself into a groove, and then it's hard to get me out of it. So I feel like for me personally, that's my kind of segment with that. Is I kind of feel like I need to be somewhat in the groove to be able to get into it, and then once I get into it, then it's like hard to get me out of it. And it's like, yeah, I'm in the groove of this, and then it's like I'm working on it. I guess that's kind of what Soul, the Pixar movie, kind of got onto, and so that was really fun to like hear from a different perspective of that. As like, yeah, you go to a different realm or something when you get into a groove. Like your soul goes to a different place. That's such an interesting concept. I think one of these frames is not like the others. Yep. Nope, sorry. It's this one. Stop. Alrighty. Are you drawing right now, Cookie? I feel like the camera moves a little bit. Let's see if we can fix that. I think it's from here to here. It doesn't look like that. Let's see. Let's go inside here and see what happens. Zoner. Interesting. Currently drawing. Awesome. Alrighty. What do I want to do? Oh, this is it. Is this it? Oh yeah, this is the last frame. That's right. Oh, okay. I was like, is that some very cool, like retro name kind of a name? What do I want? I want this squiggle to be a straight. With Toon Boom, I'm not sure how to do that, but let's just see. I think I go into this mode. It feels straight. Okay, so I want to. Oh, can I just do this? I'm not sure, but let's see if this works. Where this is literally having him go. The angle itself is the angle of where the last point is. So I want it to be. It's still not. That's interesting. As like a shaky cam where it kind of goes. Yeah, it goes like this instead of just going straight. So I'm trying to figure how to get this right. That's good. There's a bunch of numbers that I can try and figure out. That's looking good. Yay! Okay, I just put ones on all of them and it kind of sorted itself out. That's all I want. Okay. Cool. And the rest of it would probably just be adding the extra drawings with the ripples here. But I can say that for in between time. Because that's kind of what I did for the Dippy Bird in this scene. If I didn't explain all this. Or if you missed it, I worked on the background. This is a nice little radio guy. I don't know, I'm thinking of weird things that a train station might have. I know the sketch was a little bit different from this. Little whiteboard, I guess, with post-it notes and stuff. papers. I guess a mug. A cute little Bob Ross 5-minute sketch thing in honor of that. Try to make this slightly more coherent. I don't know. I tried to make this look like a train. This was my original idea, was to have it be a picture of a train schedule. And then this will be like times and destinations and other destination, I guess, and whether it's good or not. So that's that. And then try to keep it with the Crystal Empire with a bunch of diamonds as an aesthetic. All these diamonds here being here as well. Try to go for that. I feel pretty confident with this background, but if there's anything else where I can remove things with this background, let me know. You guys are helping me. I mean, you came up with a lot of these ideas, so yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. And what I was gonna do, I was still trying to decide. I did have to do a lot of rebuilding of all these different parts. Like a lot of this had to be redone. Oops. That's what I wanted. I wanted to have like it be layered correctly. So the way that I had it before was I think I had the cup itself have water in it, or have the water itself be in here and have a fill, and then having a separate picture to then be the mask of the water. But I think now I just have it be inside of this new picture that goes on top. And so basically this one is layered on top. So it's all of this. This is a whole element. So it just lays underneath the outline and has these little ripples here. And so these have different pictures as they animate. And so the Dippy Bird can be layered in between all that using Z-depth. And then I think I have a cup behind one that's this, that has just this, and it just have to be layered underneath. So that's kind of the solution I made to figure this out. I suppose I could figure out to like make it kind of like a little bit shorter, was that I could kind of bring the fill in a little bit, and then you can see like how it kind of creates that. And of course now it's being, we need to put it on the, well, it is the underline layer. I need to put the outline, put it on the layer on top, so I can put this, and then be happy with all this, and kind of move this point a little bit down, and on the other side, and kind of this be more, maybe more straight, maybe. So I get rid of this then. Get them back up. Can I get rid of these? I'll probably just make these. I think they're good. Can make these 90-degree angles. That can help. Let's kind of round it out slightly. That'll be good. Let's see here. So I want to make it slightly good, and then it kind of goes down a little bit. So I want to bring that up, and then kind of curve this up. So that's not organic. I'm seeing it overlap. I'm gonna get rid of that. See if I can get rid of this overlap. Actually, that's not part of that. That's actually part of the outline here. We need to remove that, like that. Yeah, there you go. Okay. It's not fully filled, and it could just kind of be a little bit more. Not too like the fill line, but just kind of still a little bit high. There you go. Indy? Okie dokie. So let's see. Let's bring it back to the beginning. Let's bring this to start, and then the end could be all the way to the end, maybe. Actually, back to round here. So you guys can see how much we got so far. Let's get rid of the color card so you can't see it. So that goes all the way to do. So it does that, the shot we animated today, and then this needs to be animated. But that's gonna be good enough for today, so we animated the whole shot today, so that feels pretty good. Let's go to end. Alrighty, welcome to Toaster Time, where I drink a little bit of water and think about my life choices. Pretty good. Alright. How are you guys doing? Cinematic. Yes, it's how we set up, like, we thought of the camera angles, at least I did. We figured out the different camera angles of like how it has these different zoom ins and different positions. So that's all thanks to like how Toon is very, very more flexible, I would say, than Flash. If I had to do this in Flash, it would be, it's possible, but it's not quite as either intuitive or easy of use to do. In a sense that I wouldn't be able to, with Flash, I would need to not make like scenes per se, where especially like how you can put a bunch of different symbols, a whole different like characters, props, assets, backgrounds all in one symbol and call that a scene. And then your virtual camera wouldn't really respond as well, because then you wouldn't have the virtual camera properties. You would only be zooming in on a postcard. While with this Toon Boom, you're able to actually have real depth. I figured out how to make things have real 3D properties as well. Like at any time I can just quickly show this off. What do I want to show off? I can do Dipper Bird. Let's see if this works. Layer properties. There's an enabled 3D, which is a little bit hard to see on here, but enabled 3D. And so now, if I go to rotate, I think, how do I do this? I think it's this one. Nope. Maybe I have to be on top. I forgot how to actually make it. It's in 3D, but I just need to remember how to make it real flippy. I would say so. Yeah, it just took me a little bit of like, you know, way back when, of like, you know, almost a year ago. Wondering why this isn't working well. Maybe I need to make the peg 3D. Oh, that worked. There you go. So now it's trying to be in 3D. It's clipping through the background because the background's actually pretty close. But now I can see like how it's a 2D sprite now. So, be able to do wackier things with this now. So if you wanted to make like buildings or something, you could like have this and then have another one be 90-degree difference, and then have a camera move around, and then it'll be a 3D scene. So there's a lot more fun things you can do with that. Because if Flash, you can't exactly, you can, everything's possible. Flash has the same like tools, but it's really on a very case-by-case basis. It seemed like Flash just kind of Adobe like tested like a tool to just kind of work with Flash and then say, well, like, it works for this preview thing, or like this example that we made. If you want to try it with, I don't know, your own thing, might not work. So that's what happened with the Jackrabbit one, where that's the first time I tried to really lean into having the same peg hierarchy system, and it just didn't really work out as fluidly as this is made to have the peg system. So, as well as Flash isn't made to really be an animation software really to actually begin with. Let's think about that Flash is not exactly made to be used for animation. It's just like, it was made to be a vector program that then someone was like, hey, can we do different frames of it? And it's like, well, if I do these different frames of pictures with these vectors, it's like, oh, it can like kind of animate, you know? And then Adobe and Macromedia were like, let's lean into that much more than how it's a vector program? I don't know. Because then you have Illustrator, which is basically the same sort of. It has different types of tools. It's more actually for print more than anything. Um, Illustrator's not really made for much more than making like a poster or something just with vector graphics. So, yeah. But yeah, Toon Boom seems to be, from my experience, much more animator friendly, which is weird to say from coming from a Flash experience. It's like, yeah, this thing I want to do, all this like stuff I learned from trying to do the Flash way. It's like, no, you just do it, natively and just do it the way that it makes sense in Toon Boom. So, it's really nice. Let's see. We can go so far. Thank you. Yeah, I would say yeah because I've already kind of bought it. I've already bought Toon Boom, so it's like I might as well be like, yeah, I'm happy with this, or at least I'm trying to make myself happy with it. There's still some things that's like I'm not sure if it's my user error or just actually how the program works. That there's still some things that's like, what, why? Remember the deformers where I did with the hair animation, where I have the little lines and the bubbles, handles to like move that around. Sometimes when I add them into a new scene, I put them into a library and then copy paste them basically into a new file or new scene. Some of those don't really carry over. The deformers don't carry over nicely, or they kind of break. So it's like, well, I have this chain that was made up to be specifically for this particular piece, and it was set up real nice, the way that I wanted it. And then somewhere in the conversion process of putting it in a library and putting it into a new scene, it broke it, where it seemed like not every piece would have the deformer, or at least it broke it. So yeah, that wasn't cool. But again, it's like, is that my fault or just the way that Toon Boom works? Especially the I guess a lot of library stuff. Flash is actually, in a sense, better at like copy pasting between different scenes or different files. Let's say that, because that's how Toon Boom kind of like expects you to make these. Is that these are all scenes. If you make a new thing, it's gonna be saved as a new scene, basically. That's what they're gonna call it instead of a file. So, what am I saying? Yeah, Flash is better like copy pasting between different files, but if I put it into a library in Toon Boom, I've explained this before. It's like I'm not still sure like why. It makes sense that you can like copy all the frames of like with the mouths, especially has like the most amount of pieces, or substitutes. So it's like I can. Let me see. Let me think of my dots here. So I can like make a library asset that like I can copy paste all of the frames of it. I have to, otherwise they essentially disappear. So that's what's really frustrating. It's like I have a library asset that has every single possible drawing substitution for every single piece, and then bring it into a new scene or slash file, and then kind of work with it. And it's like you can't just plug and play. It's like I have to like individually then. Oops, someone's calling me. I had to individually kind of like remove those drawing substitutions to make a clean. I have to make like a clean version of it, which takes forever. Because when I just like highlight through all the layers, it'll also copy, or like you have like it'll go through the pegs too. So it's not an easy way to like filter, I guess, in the timeline. Not know of. the filter with only drawings, because that'd be nice if I could only, because there's like thousands of layers just because everything's duplicated. If I could like filter and sort, if I could just do a vertical slice through the whole timeline and say, please only highlight drawings, that's what I would really like. I haven't looked into that. I just thought of that now. So maybe I'll look into that to see if there's a way to vertically slice through every layer and say only select drawings or only select pegs or maybe weird nodes. Because then I can like go in there and then do vertical slice and then go through every single frame through the whole library. This is still, I've copied, the whole thing is that I copied and pasted a library asset of a puppet basically that I'm thinking of. So this is still what I'm thinking of, is I still need to just delete these frames that need to be exposed or else they get deleted. So I'm still trying to figure that out, but at least at this point it's like it's really frustrating, like can't I just, you know, because it works way better with Flash because everything's a symbol which compartmentalizes, puts in a box each thing. So like an eyeball might have 30 frames inside it, and then it might do a blink halfway through or something. And then great, that's a symbol, and you can just easily put that in a different box and put it into a new file and be ready, you know. But with Toon Boom, it's like this way more grandiose of like, okay, well, you can put it into a library, but you need to do these specific, you know, to-do lists to be able to package it up and put it into a new scene. The problem is, you know, with the Midnight Mares and other projects I'm probably going to be doing Toon Boom stuff with, that's a lot of work and a lot of like wasting time just to be able to get the puppet ready to actually animate, because I don't want it to do, you know, with the library stuff where at the beginning of it, it does this, you know, turn around and whatever else it needs to do. So, like the Point of Life Master here. Nope, just wanted to make using mouse here. Is that it goes through literally every single possibility that I have for every single part, so you can see the mouth moves a lot more, and then all that. So I need to have all this here, but it goes for so long because I have so many different pictures of it. So this goes on for like, I don't know, like 30 frames or something or more. So it's like I had to bring this in and then try to like delete all this, but it's just like the hassle of doing this every single time. It's just like so frustrating to having to do this. It makes sense because it's like you don't, I don't know what the best way, because the best way would be to just copy paste it and then it just be like this, and then it won't have the other frames, and then be done with it, you know. And then if I need the other frames, they're already inside of each piece. Like if I go to Harsh Winnie's mouth, she's using the same pictures as the regular pony one, the Point of Life base one. So to actually have all these within this file, I needed to have it be drag the whole Harsh Winnie puppet into the stage and then have all these frames exposed because they need to be, apparently. I was still trying to figure that out, but then I did need to delete all these. So it's like that wasting time process that's the most frustrating. It's like I need to do this for literally everything. I don't have to do it like, I guess I'm trying to think, like, yeah, think back. Do I need to do that for every single, I have to look like at every single layer basically and every single element to see whether they have different pictures. Like maybe this has a different alternate version of it or something. So sometimes I lose in my library, like my first making of the base puppet, I might forget like one eyebrow, and if I had like so many of these, then I would have lost it. And that happened a couple times where with Midnight Mares, I had my library not set to have extra eyebrows, so I was like figuring out like, well, what do I do now? I've imported the puppet into the new scene. I don't have the eyebrow I needed, so I was like, well, I could just put a deformer on it in some cases and just kind of bend it, but then some of that didn't really work out. So I was like, yeah, I guess I better just not deal with that eyebrow then. If I needed to, I probably would just have to go into a separate file, open it up, and then see if I can put that into a new library piece and then paste that into the drawing substitutions in here. And it's just like, that's so much more work than if it was just like each element was somehow like a symbol where it could just carry any frame inside of it at all times. So that's the one biggest gripe that's actually the most infuriating, is that I have to constantly monitor like what's inside of each element to see like, I shouldn't have these many frames here. This is literally the same picture for all of these, but I have all these as separate pictures. So what do? You know, I had to go into my timeline now and make sure I didn't set a new keyframe. Yeah, put a new Toon Boom. Where am I? I need to go back here and then say, please delete this frame that I have here. But to delete the other ones, let's see what I have to do. I would need to... I didn't remove that. Go to these other ones. I can expose on a timeline. Actually, there's an easier way. I could just go into here. Select all these and then say delete. Boop. So now they're gone. There you go. But that's one piece to the entire puppet, and so that's why it takes forever. Is that like, basically I added like a keyframe when I was selecting basically everything. So it added a keyframe to basically every single part. So it added duplicates for pieces that now I literally would need to go into every single piece now and then say, some of these are duplicates. I would have to go in each of these and like delete all these different pieces now. Just because it added a keyframe. Because I added a keyframe to basically everything. I did a vertical slice and essentially now I deleted that. Oh dear. When I was copy and pasting the position information, I was like on this mode where I can see everything as like a compartmentalized like folder. I had it in folder mode so it has everything. I can expand it to see these different parts. So I had it in the most compressed folder view. I added a keyframe, which made it added the keyframe to literally every single element inside of it. So this is all the harsh windy parts, and it just goes on for miles. So it added a keyframe to everything, as well as adding a duplicate picture, basically, or drawing. It added a duplicate drawing to every single piece. I must have done it several times, because I wanted there to be in the right place. But because I had a keyframe, either manually or whatever, with actually clicking the make keyframe button. So there's that issue, as well as the library stuff, and then I'm sure just trying to figure out like some very advanced node stuff that may help me more than at least just time saving stuff. That would help too. But yeah, it's hard to recommend it, at least from like that rant, but I think it is like leaps and bounds way better than Flash. Fully just making a cartoon. It's like, yeah, you know, make a simple cartoon, you're gonna be okay, but at least try not to make it super complex. Or else you'll be here all day trying to like wrestle with it of like, this isn't great, you know, why did that happen? Hello, chicken. Welcome to the end of the stream. Where I just got really mad at Toon Boom for just liking it for so long. What did I say? Let me drink more drink. More brain juice. Okay. Yeah, that's all to say. Like that's my major gripes of Toon Boom is that what I've explained. So it's not wholly bad, but it's like it's definitely got those quirks that's like, this isn't fun. I got over like the last summer, you know, when I first got it, like at least in last summer, I was like, I don't understand anything. So there were things like in the first couple streams of like, I want to do this. I don't want to do this. This is hard to do. Like I wanted to just, if I had that mile long layer, timeline. It's like I want to find a specific layer that I click on or something. Turns out, you know, later on I research into it and it's like that is a button. So maybe all my gripes are just, you know, petty of like and non-existent, or you know, there's a different alternate way or something, you know, for what I explained. So maybe, but from my research, I don't think there really is a way to really help the library situation, because like Adobe, they expect you to do it a certain way, and so if you have a different method for doing things, they're like, well, that's not our way, so it's not going to be as quick or easy or effective or whatever. So their method is to have um, a mile long horizontally in timeline where you have like a puppet exist for, you know, maybe like 10 seconds worth of timeline, just to have like all those different poses that I said. So they could have like a front view and then expose literally anything that can have a drawing substitution, go to like a 3/4, expand everything, and then do a profile, and then you do a full 360 of any pose that you have. So that takes up a lot of time, literally in the timeline, to expose everything. They just expect you to, I think, kind of have that. Because I've never really seen a tutorial of like starting from dragging a library asset, dragging a puppet from the library that has that mile long both ways timeline, and then what do you do to animate? It's what they usually do is that they kind of just have like, let me show you, you know, how to use the puppet for these specific, you know, troubleshooting or whatever, and they always kind of just have that turnaround in those expanded poses, and they kind of just go into one of those frames and then start messing things and say like, oh, let me move this arm up to kind of show you how bones or joints work with this. And they always undo it because they have this pre-made perfect pose, so they don't want to have it be in a different pose or whatever to, you know, mess it up. So it's like, well, why do you actually animate it with? How do you actually animate it with then? That's the only question I want to know, is like, why do you need to expand it that much just to have it to have all the things? It's actually a demonstration, because you actually need to have all those to put it in the library so you can actually put it into a different file to actually be able to use it for a different scene. So it's like, this is so backwards of like how Flash does it, of like having it all the compartmentalizing of having these symbols, of like having these boxes that you can put all these different drawings inside of and just kind of move that around. Instead of this Toon movement, it's like all these different elements that have like elements inside of elements, in a sense that everything's kind of blown up, so you can't really put it inside of a box and move it somewhere. They all need to be like separated and like perfectly put into different like pinholes of like, this is what this is, so it needs to expand, and everything needs to be taken care of, and it's just like, this is so but I think I just found an easy way. The easy fix is just to put the library version that has everything expanded and everything's happy, and then you just pick the right pose that you want and put it into the first frame, and then literally just delete every single frame afterwards. So like frame 2 to like 3000, you can just delete those literally, and then have everything be in like the folder view where you can't really mess with the other pieces in a timeline view, and just kind of go to F5, and then everything's expanded and everything's like that same view for the whole thing. So it's like, you know, it just seems, I don't know. It's just like one of those things that either people just don't want to say it, or just like it's one of those things where it's like, either it's so simple that everyone just does it and then they don't think about it, or it's just like they don't want to mention it, that it's like, because it's such a weird flaw thing that I can get upset about. Especially, so it's like I'm just confused of like, why this kind of method is just not the way that I would think about it. It's just like, why do I need to expand all these things to have literally every single thing be exposed just so I can have it later? It's like, why can't I just have it be, you know, be there and have like, because every element has the drawing substitutions pretty much baked into them, so it's like, why do they need to be expanded and have different frames just so you can have those? If you have like 5 different pictures, and then if I miss 4, then, or frame 4, so I only miss 1, if I put it into a library and then put it into a new file, then I don't have 4, and it's like, that's just a simplification of like, why must you do this? And then some other like deformers breaking and stuff, that's annoying too. So but at least at this point I would give it like an 8 out of 10, just because it is really good, but there are like these weird quirks that's like, it's as a final grade, I guess, of Toon Boom. It's like, it's great. It's way better than Flash, but it still has those weird. It's got its own weird quirks. That's like, I'm not, um, loving it like a mother. It's like, oh, it's fine. It's got weird things. It's like, I'm still gonna love you. I'm not to that point where it's like I'm still going through grief. I'm in anger at this point. I'm not. What's next? Is it depression or something? And then acceptance. So I'm halfway there, but it's still like not all the way there. Why this is weird. Chicken's been here for a while. Thank you. So if you guys have any, know-how of Toon Boom, if you watch this later, let me know. It's just one of those things that I just never seen anyone talk about, really, of what you're supposed to do. Like, what's the step 2 of when you put a new puppet in, and then, what do you do after that? What's the best way to clean out the frames that you have? What do you like, mother to use this screen? That is fine. I know. I know that's pretty racy. I'm sorry. Anyway, let me drink some more water. Yeah, it went straight down the hole. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see. I guess I don't think there's too much to really work on in between, unless there's anything you guys see, at least from what you see here, if there's anything to improve. I think everything's pretty by the storyboard, so I'm pretty happy with a lot of this, actually. Let's see. So I think on Thursday we can work on the next shot. I can work on the zoomed in Dippy Bird like this one. I can just make the water kind of ripple out, which is gonna be on ones, or like or frame by frame, I should say. So that's already pretty taken care of. So I guess the next thing we'll work on Thursday will just be the final shot where Harshwini gets explode mad, and then she jumps down in between, like to the bottom of where the train is, and then lifts it up and then suplexes it. And then that's pretty much it, because then she just walks into the door, and then that's it. So there's like one more shot, but it's gonna be the most sort of like actually most complex in its sense. But I don't know. We'll see animation wise. There's a lot of grand movements, so there's a lot of like larger movements that won't take as much really finessing in a sense. Because the one we did today was a lot more like small movements, so I had a lot of time to like add a lot more personality to like every single part. Whereas with a larger like jump up and go out of frame stuff is like, that might only be like 4 keyframes, so there's not much, finessing or really making each part really stand on its own, rather than getting the whole pose and timing done. It's gonna be a different type of animation, I suppose. So yeah, and that'll be the last shot, and then yeah, that's pretty much means that that'll be the last part of it. So maybe by the end of this month we'll get it done. Who knows? How much time do we got? We got 39th. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-ish. Did I break my face? I was looking at the calendar. We have like roughly 5 more streams this month, so maybe maybe not. Hopefully before Eyes of March, or definitely before April, I hope. I mean, it took a month to like animate the first couple shots, but you can see like as we get more assets and more things created, then it becomes much faster. You know, for the shot I did today with Harshwini and what's his name? Duster. That was just using the literally all the parts that I had. I only made 2 new pictures for Duster's slower eye blink, so that was it. So it's mostly just actually animating rather than trying to create things. So at least for me, animation was a lot more quicker than trying to draw and make things. So I think that'll be it. Let's see. Added a new anti-rip measure to server. Oh, thank you. And I hope to, yeah, I'll also make the Patreon updates definitely this month, but I'll have to think about it a little bit more, I think. But I think I've already, yeah. So what I did with the Patreon stuff is that I'm gonna make it a little bit simpler, remove some reward tiers, but just kind of split up reward tiers into less tiers. So working on that. I announced it and on post, and I got 1 comment on it, so thank you for that, saying that there were $1 here, and they're like, I might go to a 5, but not now. So it's like, thank you for that. I appreciate that. So yeah, I hope to get that definitely by the end of the month, but I still need to think about it. I might start slowly and just kind of make like make the title or like the hero header post. I might rewrite that, kind of just take everything piece by piece, and then remove the reward tiers, maybe like last or something. So that's the plan, is to do that. So thank you for following along with all that. So yeah, link to all the social medias that I have are in the description, if you want to follow me on any of those. And thank you for the results on the all the likes and stuff on the Twitter post for my Happy Sports. That was fun. That took maybe like an hour to animate. So I made that all in Flash too. So let me just put that out there. I had to go back to Flash and like, because I had the this particular Derpy puppet. I don't have it in Toon Boom yet. So I made it in Flash for that. Because I also needed the football picture, the football asset. So I was able to just copy paste it from the library episode from like a couple years ago. I think it was the Mother's Day video. I was able to take the football helmet and then just kind of redraw it and then use it as a base to redraw it and then animate from there. So that was really fun. I was going to put like a cereal bowl to make it kind of more kind of go with Super Bowl to kind of go with that image, but I don't know. I feel like that didn't really visually didn't kind of work out, so just kind of had little Cheerios as cereal to kind of imply cereal and then bowl and all that. So that could have been better, but I think it worked out well. And you guys liked it. Thank you for that. Let's see. I think that's about it. Yeah, I think that's about it. So thank you. Big hug. Thank you guys. I know that was a fun rant. I just wanted to get that off my chest. And that was fun. Yeah, so next time we'll keep working on this, and hope to see you guys then. I'm working really hard on my movie too. I worked on a lot of it today, so I'm glad of the progress that I got on that. So we'll see where that goes. But here's hoping I get some of it. Might even start animating some shots. Maybe by the end of the month. That'd be cool, right? Maybe to work on that. So thank you guys again. Thank you guys. Take care, guys, and have a good rest of your time that you're awake. Thank you, guys. All right, thank you. Bye bye, guys. This is fun. We'll be back on Thursday, same time. Thank you, guys. Let's see. I got to click off to do that. Let's see.